this is going into the funnies. The funnies are actually pretty serious stuff. Okay? Okay, what we wanted to point out is not, okay, take note of the name, happens to be the same as Fox. Okay, the person who owns this is the same guy. We call that guy, by the way, his initials are, we refer to him, when we want to say the actual name of the person we're referring to, we call him Joseph Goebbels. G-O-E with the two little dots, the umlaut. B-B-E-L-S, I believe. Goebbels, I think. I'm not an expert on German pronunciation. He was the mastermind behind the Nazi takeover. Hitler was the rabble-rouser, the dream weaver, the man who convinced people that, yes, there can be nirvana on earth. Just give up God. Just give up your family. Just give up, you don't start that way. You don't start that way. You just say, give up to your neighbors. Oh, it's their fault. And you could take their stuff. So that was part of the Nazi takeover. But the idea was, now that we've allowed you to take what the Jews have, we need your sons to fight our war so that we can become the most powerful people in the world. And your sons are going to do it. Your sons are going to do it. And by the way, we need other people working in the factories, and we need you to work harder and faster because we're not doing so well anymore. Every single person became a slave to that madman Hitler. Even though it started out, people were, Sieg Heil, Sieg Heil, Sieg Heil! Yes! Oh, you are our savior! Ooh, be careful if you ever hear yourself or anybody say that. That is reserved for something spiritual. To Christians, Jesus is a savior. Okay? It's not for a person in regular life. Regular life meaning the head of a country is still a freaking person. And I don't mean to say Jesus wasn't. I'm not saying that. To use the word savior was not about what a person was doing. He wasn't saving people's lives. He was a savior of souls. As Moses was, as Mohammed was, as Buddha was, as Mahatma Gandhi was, as Martin Luther King was. Anyway. Page 6, registered trademark. Think about it. Don't worry, we'll get back to that. I'll point it out, keep pointing it out, because you'll notice patterns. And so my job is to try to not do the editorializing, because that's fun. I like ripping into total nonsense, except it's total nonsense that has a purpose, an evil purpose. We need to take it seriously. We have to take it seriously. This ain't no comic book. It's not being used to entertain. It's being used to condition what Pavlov taught the world. The fundamental unit of learning something new is conditioning through association. He had that dog. Well, dogs naturally salivate. I mean, we do too, but he had a dog, naturally salivates when he smells meat. Yes. Put the meat out and you ring a bell at the same time. And after a couple of repetitions, maybe a long time, if it's a dumb dog, a smart dog might be very fast. The dog salivates without the meat. He just hears the bell. The bell, oh, salivate. Well, if you think about what the Nazis were trying to do, which is basically say, kill! You, kill! Bad people, kill 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 bad people. You say it enough. You say it enough. And people think, first of all, you scare the living crap out of people. You terrorize people. That's what Mao Zedong was so good at. He terrorized that whole country. So that now the country is a department of the China Corporation. That couldn't happen without the terrorism of Mao. It's done. The Chinese population knows. There ain't no fence. You're gonna get shot at this. Suffer. You're just gonna suffer, period, and nothing's gonna happen. Of course, that's the way the government wants it. Well, the government, the corporation. They're the government, but they're also the corporation. And they are involved in lots of stuff, and the takeover of Taiwan is just a foregone conclusion. And my little crystal ball, which I think I was alluding to before, and then I got sidetracked a little bit, is that, what went on with North Korea and Sony, to me, look, that little punk doesn't exist without China's intent and determination that he does exist. And if North Korea was involved in attacking Sony, China was attacking Sony. And it was just a little trial balloon to see what would happen. Because the big one's going to be Taiwan. And their cyber army, which could be in the tens or scores of millions of people. We don't know. You're teaching kids from the earliest age, all the best and the brightest technoids. You give them extra privileges. They get to play with computers all day long. And they get to play fun games against the competitions. And the teams that win get great honors. They get the better jobs. They get to be part of the party. The higher up people. The people who are, well, the middle management. That's what it is. The top management is actually just a very limited number of people. A truly limited number of people. Like this many. Maybe a little more, a little less. Those people, they hold it together just as Stalin, one person, held it together. Just as Mao held it together by himself. Just as Hitler held it together by himself. Now it's not one person, it's something like this, 8, 12, whatever the number is. And they take care of their own, including getting rid of somebody who's a bit too uppity for the rest of them. And each of them take their turns. I mean, they got to have somebody at the top to take the slack when it's needed, or to be the one screaming at why the Taiwanese government is depriving the Chinese people, the great Chinese people, the right to be Chinese. Whatever their plans are, you better believe those guys running China are smart people, and they're patient people, and they've got it under control. Now this is very important, as long as the system either holds up enough so that there's not too much multi-way war, because that's something that only militarists and industrialists, the people involved in the military-industrial complex, say. I personally can make a lot of money by having a war, that's why. Okay, finally we're getting to it. How long have we been doing this? Oh, okay, we're going to try to finish. Oh, that's right, good. So we're going to finish by 30. Oh, good, that's good, because otherwise I'll... Okay, so try to, as much as possible, or just say the things that are important. Okay, page 6, registered trademark. At the bottom, in red, the one thing that tells you what to do, right here, says pages 2 to 7, which means turn to pages 2 to 7. Okay, just notice the particular headline. War in Paris, war. There were a handful of people who killed 17 people. Okay, it's war in Paris. Okay, what are we going to see on page 2 at the top? War in Paris. What about in page 3? War in Paris. We see the bad guys. You see these bad guys? They look like bad guys. They sure do. Here's some more bad guys. Now we also see a good guy. This guy is our protector. Isn't he cute? He's kind of like a Lego figure. Okay? He is. That's very intentional. War in Paris. Look. Okay? War in Paris. War in Paris. Look at this. War in Paris. Look at War in Paris. Oh, no, we're past the War in Paris. Okay, we'll go back to this just goes on. We don't need, it's a lot, I'll tell you. It's, but you know how many times it says war on war something because this. This will tell you, almost always. There's a little inconsistencies on this. We'll see them. But it's all related to this. Okay, remember there's a person who sells influence. He's a very powerful man, perhaps the most powerful man in the world, whom we refer to as Joseph Goebbels because he's the closest at the moment. You know, he doesn't have a pal like Hitler. He has the pals of the world, the people who want to pay him money to get what they want. Okay, Paige, okay, here's another date. Here's Mayor de Blasio, whom I happen to know personally. He's just a standard politician as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, let's look at the fact that I know him. I worked with him for a while. Anyway, pages 4 through 9. Okay. 4 through 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6. 6 times 6. Okay, just by the way. Okay, anyway, this is interesting because conditioning is what? Repetition. That's it. It's very simple. Very simple. And very doable. Very replicable. The machine is very efficient. It's very efficient. Okay, now. Okay, this one said pages 4 through 9. Let's go and see what this one's about. War on cops. These are the hero cops that died. War on cops. This is, okay, now we're getting, that was pages 4 and 5. Now we're getting to page 6. This is actually interesting. Well, look, just so you know, War on 7 and 6 both have war on cops. But let's just look at page 6, which is a special page. Cop killer! That's him. As a disparaging Commissioner Bratton blames the terrorists' last missing hours. What terrorists? What? Who? This guy kills his ex-girlfriend, not this woman who's his wife, his ex-girlfriend, apparently. Then he kills 2 cops, execution style, right in the car, and then he kills himself. That's what this is. 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 I'm just having fun being. That's what this is. War on cops. War on cops. War. Let's just go. We'll just do a few more, and because I got to stop very soon. Oh yeah, I got to really stop. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to. Okay, here we go. This one says pages 4 and 5. This is the real enemy. Who's the real enemy? The real enemy. War on cops. Bill de Blasio, the real enemy. He's the bad guy. He's that guy, and that guy, and that guy's the bad guy. And you know why this guy's the bad guy? We're going to have to stop. You know why he's the bad guy? Because he told his son that his son should be careful of police. The truth. He dared to tell his son the truth. And then he told the public what he told his son. And that's why.